going. Welcome to Matty J's.
Today, for our latest installment of Meet Saline, I am here with the owner of Matty J's Bakery, and this is Shauna. And Matty J's, if you didn't know, is kind of like an adventure in baking. It has all your traditional items, but then she also has a little bit of like a culinary, influence, and kind of opens the door to some new flavors that I've tried that just kind of blew my mind. But it's located actually in the shopping center right across from the Phoenicia plant. Thanks very much for having us today. Tell us a little bit about your shop.
I opened shop August 26th, 2017. It had been a dream of mine to open my own place, and I live in Saline, and I really wanted to do something in the community that I live in so that I could support where I live. And there was nowhere like what I wanted to eat at, so I decided to create that and bring some new flavors to Saline. There are very excellent restaurants here, there are very good bakeries here, but not quite like what we are, and I thought there was room enough for everyone.
Well, I'm glad that you came. My wife actually turned me on to your place, and she brought home these like ginger cakes that I tried, and I tried, and then I tried it again, and then I tried it until they were all gone.
I've tried it several times.
Yeah, and then I came in like the next day and met you, and then I bought some more of them. But those are absolutely delicious. Tell us a little bit about them.
Yeah, so the ginger slice, that was one, I think it was like the second recipe that I developed for this place, and it's an Australian dessert. It's a very thick shortbread cookie that has fresh ginger in it, and then we make a nice ginger icing, and there's crystallized ginger on top, and there's just, it's amazing. It's, once you start eating it, it's really hard to stop.
It's so good. It's so good. It goes great with coffee, it goes good with air.
Yeah,
and
it does.
Water. I mean, pretty much anything. That's probably one of my favorite things. So I like to cook, and I get in there. So if you're going to walk in the front door and something gets you really excited, like, I'm going to get to bake this today, what's your favorite thing to bake and why?
My favorite thing to bake is bread. Bread is really complicated. There's many factors. There's the humidity, there's the temperature, there's when the flour was grown. It's a living organism, so to bake it, you really have to be experienced. It is an art as opposed to just science. I love baking bread. It's my most favorite thing. I get really excited to talk about bread. We have some unique breads here, and we're soon going to be expanding our bread line to meet the demands of some of our wholesale customers, and we'll bring those breads to our retail customers as well.
Yeah, I noticed some of the local restaurants are featuring your bread these days. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what's your top selling bread or pastry or dessert?
The top selling bread is the sunflower rye bread, and we wholesale that to several restaurants in the area, and that's what we sell out of every single day here. And sandwiches, the ham and gruyere. It's the very first sandwich that I developed. It's been on the menu from day one. It will never come off. It's a really great combination of sweet and savory. It happens to be on the sunflower rye bread as well. Pastry-wise, it's tough. A lot of people really love cookies, Cookies are great, but then I guess sales number-wise, it's the desserts that you can't find anywhere else, like the ginger slice, like our apple cinnamon rolls, like our glazed apple cake, the things that you can't get anywhere but here.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's kind of neat about it. So it's like you walk in here and you're like, okay, I recognize that, I recognize that, I recognize that, but it all has a subtle kind of like Matty J's twist on it, and they're delicious. So I'm a big fan of that. So you were mentioning that you're doing some of the wholesale with the bread. What about like catering and that sort of thing? Do you do any of that?
Yes, we certainly do. We cater to a lot of local businesses. We have a catering menu online. We've done up to 75 people, and I really don't know what our limit would be. I can imagine we could do double or triple that easily. We deliver for a small range of that. We do sandwiches, soups, trays, desserts, everything.
Awesome. So I'm a business guy. I'm having lunch in some place. I can say, hey, Shauna, I need X amount of sandwiches, X amount of desserts. That's awesome. Okay, I did not know that. That's great.
Yes.
All right, so the holidays are coming up. Do you have any specials coming up for the holidays?
We do. We are going to have key lime pie for the very first time. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of actual key limes in the back that we've been squeezing very carefully to get all the juice out. And then we will do many cookie boxes, mix and match cookie boxes, featuring all of our regular cookies and some special holiday cookies. And actually this Saturday, December 8th, we are going to do a free cookie tasting for people to come in and try all the cookie boxes to see what they like. And absolutely free. Free food is good.
Did you hear that, people? All right, on the 8th, come on down to Matty J's for some free cookies. All right, sorry to interrupt.
That's okay.
Let me ask you a couple quick questions about, there's two things that get my attention in this place. One, tell me about the coffee machine, because that cup of coffee, I mean, I've had a couple lattes here, they're always great, but the one I just had was the best I've ever had.
That's good.
So tell me about that.
So this coffee machine is a top-of-the-line coffee machine. There are only two brands that are worth having if you're serious about making espresso, and this is one of them. It is straight from Italy. I had to special order it. It cost more money than I care to admit. And at that point, they said, "Do you want it custom painted?" And I said, "Sure. I'm already spending $1 bajillion. Why not make purple?" So it is great. It makes the best cup of coffee in town.
I would agree, and it is purple, so especially when it's like the Ferrari of coffee machines.
It is.
This is kind of a funny story. So when I called to schedule the interview, I said, "Hey, is this Matty J?" And she was like, "No." So where did you get the name Matty J?
Matty J was in school when you called. Matty J is my son. It's a nickname. His name is Jacob, but I almost named him Matthew, so he is known amongst all of my friends as Matty J. So he's very proud to have this place named after him, but he's only 8, so he can't quite...
You can't put him to work yet.
Not quite. He can run the register, and he enjoys being Matty J, but that's about it.
All right. Well, thanks very much for tuning in. If you have any questions, get online, check out Matty J's Bakery, or just pop in. Shauna is probably about one of the nicest people I've met in a long time, so it's always nice. And I absolutely recommend checking this out. It's one of a kind. Thanks very much, and from the best little town in Michigan, we'll see you next time.
Thank you.